Welcome back to Very Special Episodes, the series where we shine a light on the times TV shows decided to get real, often leaving a bigger impact than anyone expected. In part 16, we're covering another batch of shows that tackled everything from mental health and loss to racial tensions, gun violence, and substance abuse. These weren't just shocking moments for TV. They were powerful conversations that stayed with audiences for decades. From Sesame Street teaching young kids about autism through kindness and patience, to Little House on the Prairie telling one of the darkest stories ever put on a family series, these episodes weren't afraid to step outside the comfort zone. They sparked debate, encouraged understanding, and sometimes forever changed the shows they were part of. Let's run it back. Sesame Street, meet Julia. When Sesame Street introduced Julia, it wasn't just adding a new Muppet. It was taking a major step toward inclusion and understanding. Julia has autism, and the show carefully depicted her behaviors, like flapping her hands and not responding immediately to greetings, not as problems, but simply as differences. Big Bird's confusion and eventual acceptance of Julia becomes a perfect stand-in for young viewers learning how to approach friendship with those who are different. The episode beautifully highlights that you don't have to completely understand someone to be kind to them. Instead of focusing on what makes Julia different, the show emphasizes shared activities, like games and stuffed animals, to build friendship. It's a gentle, empathetic approach that taught millions of kids and adults how to open their hearts a little wider.
There's no way I can make it without you, do it without you, be here without you. It's no fun when you're doing it solo.
Austin and Allie, Beauties and Bullies. At first, Beauties and Bullies looks like a typical lighthearted episode about school plays. But after Trish lands the lead role, she becomes the target of vicious online bullying. What hits hardest is how Trish tries to laugh it off at first, only to crumble in private, overwhelmed by the cruelty of anonymous classmates. The broken mirror and the hurtful messages on her locker show how words, even typed ones, can cause lasting pain. The episode doesn't settle for easy solutions either. Trish's decision to almost drop out of school shows how deep the wounds can go. Even when her friends uncover the bully, Trish makes it clear that revenge won't heal her hurt. Instead, the show highlights that real strength comes from facing the pain head-on and seeking support. By the end, Austin and Allie delivers a powerful lesson about empathy, resilience, and the power of community when confronting bullying. Zoom, American Kids Remember. Zoom's American Kids Remember was a rare moment in children's programming. A year after the 9/11 attacks, this PBS special brought together kids from different backgrounds to talk honestly about their fear, confusion, and sadness. These weren't scripted lines. These were real conversations about what it meant to live in a changed America. The show masterfully balanced heavy feelings with hope. Kids spoke about increased prejudice they noticed toward Muslim classmates, about being afraid to fly, and about losing parents who were first responders. But they also shared poetry, art, and dreams for a better future. By giving kids a space to process real-world trauma, Zoom created something uniquely raw and valuable, proof that young voices deserve to be heard in national conversations. Moesha, hello, what's this? Moesha tackled substance abuse in a way that hit close to home. When a marijuana joint is found at the Mitchell's house, the immediate assumption is that Mo is to blame. What follows is an intense look at broken trust within families, and the gut-wrenching realization that it's actually her younger brother Miles who's experimenting. Rather than demonizing Miles, the episode carefully explores how curiosity and peer pressure can lead young people down dangerous paths. The family's decision to address the issue with love, education, and firm guidance offers a roadmap for how parents can respond without alienating their kids. Ending with a PSA about drug awareness, Moesha made it clear that the conversation about substance use had to start early and come from a place of care.
There's Maude, and then there's Maude, and then there's Maude, and then there's Maude.
Maude's Dilemma. Parts 1 and 2 Few episodes in TV history are as bold or groundbreaking as Maude's dilemma. When Maude discovers she's unexpectedly pregnant in her late 40s, she grapples with a decision no one expects to see discussed so openly on primetime TV: whether to have an abortion. The show navigates the conversation with seriousness, humor, and a remarkable amount of honesty for its time. Maude's internal conflict, supporting abortion rights politically but struggling when faced with the choice personally, is portrayed with rare nuance. The episode doesn't offer easy answers, instead showing the emotional and moral complexity of the decision. It's no exaggeration to say that Maude's dilemma changed what was possible on television forever. South Central, Gun Parts 1 and 2. South Central delivered one of the rawest, most unflinching portrayals of gun culture in American neighborhoods. When Andre starts carrying a gun for protection, the result isn't empowerment. It's alienation, fear, and ultimately heartbreak. His desperate need to feel safe only isolates him further, damaging his relationship with Nicole and putting others at risk. The show didn't sugarcoat anything. Carrying a gun escalates conflict instead of solving it. Watching Andre's slow unraveling is painful but necessary, and by ending on a tragedy rather than a neat resolution, South Central made a brutally honest statement about the cycle of violence that plagues too many communities. All of us, the N-word. In one of the most uncomfortable but important moments in the show, young Bobby innocently repeats the N-word at his birthday party. What follows is an intense and complicated discussion among the adults about race, history, and language reclamation. It's a moment that could have been sensationalized, but instead is handled with sensitivity and realism. Rather than preaching, All of Us models how families can and should talk about these complicated issues early and honestly. It acknowledges that kids pick up language without understanding it, and it's up to parents to teach the context and history behind their words.
And Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
Leave It to Beaver, Beaver and Andy. It's easy to remember Leave It to Beaver as a sweet, simple show, but Beaver and Andy proves it wasn't afraid of serious issues. When Beaver innocently offers a recovering alcoholic a bottle of brandy, it sets off a chain reaction that forces the adults to realize their mistake. Shielding Beaver from understanding addiction left him vulnerable to enabling it. The moment when Beaver's dad apologizes for not being honest about Andy's struggles hits harder than expected. It's a rare example of early television acknowledging that kids deserve truth, even about difficult topics like alcoholism. In doing so, Leave It to Beaver paved the way for future shows to be more transparent and responsible when dealing with adult issues. House of Payne, absolutely positive. This episode cleverly intertwines humor and heavy realities. Curtis's over-the-top fear after a colonoscopy and the discovery of a polyp adds some levity, but the heart of the episode lies in Calvin's relationship with Karen, a woman living with HIV. Their story brings sensitivity to a topic that's often mishandled, showing that love, trust, and open communication are essential when chronic illness is involved. House of Payne deserves credit for taking HIV out of the after-school special realm and placing it in the context of normal adult relationships. It destigmatizes the diagnosis while still respecting the very real challenges it presents. By balancing Curtis's comedic overreactions with Calvin's more grounded storyline, the show delivers a full picture of fear, ignorance, love, and acceptance. Little House on the Prairie, Sylvia Parts 1 and 2. In perhaps the darkest arc of the series, Little House tells the harrowing story of Sylvia, a young girl assaulted by a masked man and left pregnant. The town's rush to judge her, and the cruelty she faces from both adults and peers, is heartbreaking. Albert's loyalty to her in the face of vicious rumors is inspiring, but tragically not enough to save her. The final scenes are brutal. Sylvia flees her abusive father, only to encounter her rapist again, leading to a confrontation that ends in violence. For a show built on wholesome values, Sylvia pushed storytelling boundaries in a way few family dramas have ever dared. It's a painful but unforgettable reminder of how badly victims can be treated and how much damage judgment can cause. And that wraps up Very Special Episodes, Part 16. Once again, these shows proved that TV wasn't just about entertainment. It could also challenge, educate, and even heal. From addiction and bullying to violence and tough conversations about life and death, these episodes left lasting marks on pop culture and on us as viewers. A huge shout out and heartfelt thank you to our amazing Throwback Tier members: Peace by Chaos, Thecula, iCritic, Mary Jarrell, Jeremy Bowen, Mr. Blanks, and Sonic and Leighton Fan. Your support means the world, and you're helping keep the nostalgia alive in a big way. I also want to thank all the other awesome members who support the channel. Whether you're new or you've been rocking with us from the beginning, I appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to help the channel grow even more, don't forget to check out the merch shop. It's another great way to show support and rep that nostalgic love wherever you go. Which of these moments stayed with you the longest? Drop a comment and let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be here for the next nostalgic deep dive. As always, keep the nostalgia alive.